and just noted that
You got any
looks
more
like there's
zoom?
a moving quill
It's
worm
max zoom.
in front of the crab, perhaps?
I did see that.
Okay. And
You
Cheryl
can
is
see an
offering that this might be
HD2
the
is a little bit in
genus
front of you
used in
yet.
Yeah.
So
Pull
pilot
out
on the
for
way
full
out
screen?
when
Sure.
we're satisfied here. Just below us, right in front, there seems to be a moving tube. That could be a quill worm.
We're going to get a full shot of this guy, and then we'll
Yep.
go to the worm.
Okay, and let's get the same shot with the lights off.
Okay, a few seconds. All right, Levi, he wants to get a shot with the high beams off.
Understood.
This way they'll be able to mix it easier depending on which shots they're using.
Let's come out just a touch more. There we go.
Nice shot, Dan.
Okay.
Video's clear.
All right. Now there's a worm somewhere here,
Directly in front of us,
directly in front of us.
deep in the foreground. It's a white tube, and inside that white tube is the worm.
So, is it right center screen right now?
Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Yep.
So I think this was the quill
Oh,
worm.
yeah, there he is.
Little crab,
Yeah, you can see it's
little
got something
crustacean.
attached to it. Oh no, this looks
No,
like,
this looks like a
crustacean.
crab.
Yeah.
I think he chose the wrong shell.
Carrying a little bit
You got
more
any
than
more
he can
zoom?
chew here.
Max zoom.
He's making it work, though. Look at that. It's impressive.
He's in training.
So is there also a worm?
Oh.
I don't think so. I think it's I think this was a worm tube at one point, but
Now crab has taken over?
now the crab's taken over.
Let's come out just a touch, Roland.
I'm trying to
Could be
hold
a
that.
tusk shell, maybe? Looks like it's really
And there's
tapered
an
at one end.
anemone
Yeah.
on the back, too.
Two
Or
of them.
something. Or,
One
Yeah,
really
it looks like
close.
it is.
Cephapod. It looks like there's a borehole of some type in the side of this whiter shell that the crustacean is in. So I'm thinking that was, you know, somehow preyed upon by some other organism.
Feel sorry for this guy.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll keep working for that, looking for that quill worm.
Okay. I'm going to line back up here.
We're almost to
Let's
the
get lasers on, please.
top of this mound.
Copy that.
All right, I've reported that all three streams are back.
I have not seen any interruption, actually.
Any interest here?
Yeah, can we look at, let's see. There's a couple things here. Let's zoom on the sponge first. We'll get that out of the way, and then
Sure.
there's a few other things in the fore distance that I'd like to take a peek at.
Sure. And, okay. Okay, we can get lasers off.
This looks very reminiscent of the Geodia that we had been seeing much deeper.
I just kicked up a little dust. Sorry, Roland. Can zoom in, partial.
Is that port swing arm? Is that an optical illusion that it's
Lasers.
inboard, or I can change the lasers here.
It might have crept inboard a bit.
You
You
want me
can
to
look at it here.
You want me to bring it out?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, let's come out rolling.
So this looks to be more or less the top. I think I don't see any other hills going upwards in any direction.
You can
There seems
zoom
to be
past the
some-
skid.
Oh,
Some
I'm just
hard
waiting
bottom
for you
up
to
there.
get back
no?
in position.
I guess there is a little bit more to this incline.
Yeah, high pack is showing another 40 or 50 meters to the peak.
okay.
This keeps getting better and better.
Can we get the lasers back on?
Laser is back on.
Okay. And we're going to do a quick pilot swap, and Levi will get you a shot of this.
I see another one of those coiled, tightly coiled tubes to the right as well.
Yeah, I think we'll take a look at that. I'm thinking less and less it's an octocoral or even a black coral, since we haven't seen any this far up. So maybe it's some other organism is making this coil.
And Jeff should be in here shortly to do some testing with the hydrophone, or with the
Sounds
new
good.
unit. Yep.
Just doing a brief pilot switch out, and we'll be back to look at some of these.
Yeah, which subject did you want to zoom off?
The bottom middle of the screen. It's 7 o'clock now. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Video come in.
This looks like a black coral. This is a branched black coral colony. It seems to have at least one brittle star associate right here in the background.
Degree of black coral, maybe genus Antipathes or in that family.
Video, can we
Right.
zoom out a little bit? See the
Yeah, this
branching points maybe?
white or pale colony with very sparse branching we've been calling Antipathes. Oh, there's many
Wow,
more
a
brittle
lot of-
stars.
yeah.
I find it interesting that it seems like at the bottom of this colony, a lot of these brittle stars are occurring on bare
Come in
skeleton,
partial. Yeah, see these
especially
branches
on the
up?
right-hand side. It's almost completely denuded of polyps. And it seems to be these Ophiacanthid-looking ophiuroids.
Do you think that they're probably preying on it?
Difficult to say. This is something we noticed in the Pacific too, that some octocoral colonies where they had spiny brittle stars like Ophiacanthids seemed to be lacking tissue immediately in the vicinity, but it wasn't clear if it was a predation event or if it was just tissue lost through some
Thanks,
other
video.
means.
Want to get a full specimen?
Yeah, my gut is that it's more just abrasion
So
from
Fernando,
those spiny arms than it is predation. But it sure would be
Can
interesting.
we lose the
to learn.
lasers for a few
Yeah,
seconds?
go ahead.
Yeah.
Pilot, after we're done here, we want to go to the coil in the upper right.
Understood.
Video's clear.
All right. Pilot's clear. I'm going over to the spiral unit here.
I
Copy
see
that,
something
thank
at the
you.
base of that coil that
That's a partial.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
looks translucent.
Copy, thanks. Hey, Nav.
Hey, co-pilot.
How's it going?
It's kind of a
Pretty good.
uniform coil too. It's
Off
it comes
time,
straight out
off bottom
and then
time
takes a
is,
very severe
about
angle
20:01.
and begins to coil.
Okay.
There's another one, smaller one
Dan's
to the
coming
right
back.
also.
Just taking a
The
quick
coil?
break.
Yeah, the
Oh,
coil
yeah,
right
there
there.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
on the rock.
What's that?
Couldn't see it.
Are you sitting over here and he's sitting over there, or you're staying in that
All right,
seat?
video come in partial,
They
please.
all
No, I'm just
seem
I'm
to
not gonna
be
in this.
covered
I'm just here
with
to
these
relieve him for a bio. Oh, okay.
10
But he said he wanted to get a move
colored
going
zoanthids.
to the waypoint as soon as you guys are happy.
I'm
All right.
fairly sure there's
That was
zoanthids.
what he left asking me to tell
Same
you.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that brittle star. There seems to be even no zoanthids right around where its tentacles are wrapped around the base of this coil.
But look at the base.
Yeah, I
It's-
agree, Steve. That part looks like the zoanthid tissue is missing, which, and then when you look at the skeleton there, it doesn't really, well, I don't know. I was going to say it doesn't really look coralline.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if what's on the base here, if it looks spongy, if it's encrusting, or if it could have been the founder of this particular coil-shaped
Ready for full screen?
Yeah,
structure.
That's ready.
Yeah, my guess would be that there's a pretty big hold fast to go along with this coiled structure, and then there's a sponge overgrowing it.
Tilt
Yeah.
up.
I mean, you know, it kind of looks like a really old Iridogorgia skeleton.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Dead. But,
The thing that that I noticed is that when we've been moving around these and we've lifted off the seafloor, it doesn't flex at all. It's very rigid in the prop wash.
the other thing that's interesting is that these zoanthids look just like the zoanthids that we saw on the other coil, but different from the ones that are on the hyalinimid sponge stock.
Right, right.
I think we can get a move underway.
All right, pilot, thanks. I guess we'll try and continue upslope. Noticing so many more of these,
Yeah.
at least 3 of them.
brittle stars.
Did you copy that?
I've seen
5
tons
meter
of
move.
those.
So, pilot, just at 12 o'clock, there's 2 coils
Yeah.
directly north of us, and I wonder if the one on the left seems a different color than all the other ones we've seen. Can we zoom in on that?
Absolutely. Approaching now.
Did you notice that pretty transparent pinkish branch structure we just passed over?
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
No, I immediately I thought it was an enemy, but
All right, come in.
I didn't get a good look at it. We could try to move there.
Yeah, we can move back there. Looks like it's just a little bit more, little bit paler polyps than the other. Although there is some flexibility in these coils.
I don't buy that these are Iridogorgias. It looks like the one on the right, you can see an opening, so it seems like it's actually a hollow tube, even the one on the top. So I wonder if it's some kind of worm or, worm's probably the best guess.
Yeah.
But again, these are really different looking zoanthids, so I'm just going to toss out an idea that we collect that one on the left.
That's totally possible. We want to collect these coils, one of them, and the cup coral too. Let's see, is there any rocky hard bottom below this? I mean, that could possibly be all on one rock.
Starboard outer remaining.
Yeah, I guess these
Can
are
we
pretty
get super
small,
tight
aren't
on the
they?
bottom
I
right,
considered
that
it might be
twisty
really
stock?
difficult to pick up individually.
Yeah, I think they're maybe about 10 centimeters
That is
per
correct.
coil or so.
Starboard outward. It's the only one. Open.
Copy that now.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of
Do we have lasers video?
hard rock. I think this is mostly loose rocks on top of sediment here, but it could be connected. It could be able to grab the rock and the cup coral and the coil at the same time.
We move in and sit
Wishful
straight
thinking,
down
but
on top of it.
I think there's general consensus for a collection here.
Copy bridge. Thank you.
Watch lead, I saw the coil on the right, just at its base. It was a much smaller coil, or tube. Looked like it was starting. We're going to get closer and just show that to you guys.
Okay.
Maybe help for describing. So if you could just go a little bit more forward.
So shoreside video mentioned that they saw something that looks like a smaller of these coils
Kick on the extra lights.
somewhere in the vicinity here that could
Copa, could you turn
help
my
us identify
half-light
what
bar
kind
on?
of critter this is.
And look at the bottom of the closest one.
Oh, the tiny.
There are, yeah, there looks
This?
to be a,
Yeah.
Well, actually, did you want to collect that one?
Tilt up.
yeah, I think we wanted to collect one of these coils, and the left-hand coil that we were just looking at before we took off here seems to be on a rock that is also attached to a cup coral.
Okay.
Slow tilt
And
up.
we wanted to see, one, if the rock was loose, and two, you know, the priority is the coil here. So,
Yeah.
Okay, hold there. Shows the opening.
Yeah, that view there, you can very
Copa, you got my
clearly
hydraulic
see
set?
this is an open tube.
Can move over to
yeah,
the other
that's
one.
right.
All right, video, we can come out. We'll give the ground a poke here.
From this perspective, I'm not optimistic that the rock is going to be free, but at least we can attempt to grab the
Kill
coil.
the extra
But
lights.
that also tells us something.
Sorry.
That's, I was going to say that tells us something about the coil itself. It's something that likes to adhere to the hard substrate rather than to burrow,
Copa,
like
can we lose the extra
a
lights?
tube worm might into the
I
sediment.
got him. I got him. All right. Give the ground a poke here.
So for coil, shoreside, for coils, we have two in front of us. I think since the left-hand one was, or the one in the background was, appeared to be on a rock, I think we're going to try for that one first. But if it's all the same, we'll get one or the other. The only benefit for checking at least the rock in the background first is that it could potentially have this cup coral on it, which would make it a 2-for-1 plus associates.
Yeah. Come in on Zeus video. Rotate me up a little bit, Joe. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like that rock is not going to be movable. So I don't think we're going to get the cup coral with the zoanthid, but is there any preference about any one of these coils then? Or is the one in the background particularly noteworthy over the ones in the foreground here?
I at first had said that one in the background, but it looks to me like that's in the most challenging spot to collect, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to stick to that.
Okay, so any of these coils then, pilot,
Okay.
preferably as low, to the ground as possible.
Yeah. The right one is a little larger. Yeah. The one way up to the right or the one right here? Yeah.
The idea, of course, with trying to cut it as low as possible is if there is the tube builder inside there, it may be retracted to the base.
Right. It might be a good strategy to knock it off the rock with near the base and then pick it up.
I was thinking use the coral cutters and hold it in the tag on. Yeah. Watch lead pilot.
Yeah, pilot.
So I was thinking maybe use the coral cutters and cut it at the bottom and then hold it / crush it in the tag on. Are you concerned that would crush too much of it?
I think if that's the best way to grab low, while ensuring to get the lower portion, I think that might be the best strategy.
Okay.
We don't want to break it up too much as well, so whatever we get, we get.
Yeah.
But our suspicion is that maybe if there is a worm or something inside, that it could be
maybe
deeper in the coil.
Okay. All right, we'll go starboard outer. You could draw out. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try to open it here. Hopefully it falls out.
Do we have time to look at the remaining base? See if there's any worm in it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, sorry. All right, so we trimmed it off right here.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like there's about maybe 3 centimeters of coil still left in the bottom, maybe one whirl and a couple centimeters. Although it does look like there's something in that tube.
Come in.
It's max zoom.
Oh, max zoom.
It could be fleshy. It doesn't look like it's moving, but it could be part of the worm, if it is a worm.
I think it's possible you're looking on the back margin of a zoanthid facing the other way.
That could be it too.
On the upper right, is that where you're looking?
That could be too. The upper right is where I was looking.
Yeah, we're very close to it at max zoom.
It looks like mucus from the various polyps.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right. Well, very good. Thanks. Nice collection.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Reg.
And so, without seeing anything else, I think we're just going to keep making way. Try to make it to waypoint 3 in our last half an hour or so. We don't have much further to go, and it seems a pretty gentle slope.
And Graciela just messaged me that a lot of these fishermen that are fishing these queen snappers actually bycatch some of these beardfish. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. It looks like antipathes. Same coral we imaged not too long ago.
Huh.
So, what do they use for? Is they use bait, or is it an unbaited hook, or how do they?
I'm guessing they're baiting it.
Baited, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the beardfish, that
Depression.
they will take.
Still go up all the way.
They're somewhat scavengers. They will take anything they come across.
Yeah, and she said that she has a couple other specimens in her freezer.
I don't think
Tilt
there's
up
bigger
past
than
the sediment I can like the background.
Okay, go on. See what we can do.
Try tilting down a little bit now. See the edge back there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the best I can do to show you.
All right. What direction would you like to go, navigator?
I mean, we're coming anywhere along this, so we can keep going to 90 and then go around this part, maybe to summit or
So
whatever.
are we on the back side of the feature now?
So you just want me to put it right here?
Dan, do you think it's possible that some of those contours go down rather than up?
I think it's, maybe. It's also possible that there's just an offset with the high pack map.
Yeah.
We've already reached the top, and why don't you just kind of scan around and look for a local high, and we can go in whatever direction that takes us.
Sounds good. All right, so this is looking southwest here. And what's my sonar say? Got a ridge that way.
Seems to be a large eel off to your upper left. There's something laying flat in the sediment.
Yeah, we can snap it, see if there's interest in it. How much?
Cat shark.
Oh.
So why don't you drop a target under that just says like
Something.
local high?
This is different.
Might that be shark number 3?
I think it might be.
Okay, we were a little correct. I don't know what this doesn't look like the gulper we were seeing, and
No, this is
I can move
looks
closer. Roll.
different.
Okay.
it almost looks like a. Yeah, I don't want to guess anymore. I'm not sure. So far we've been 2 for 2 on shark identification, so hoping to go for 3 for 3 with some assistance from the shore.
Lasers are clear.
All right. Extend. Incoming video.
not used to sharks just laying on the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought they had to have water moving across their gills.
Well, you have nurse sharks.
Nurse sharks,
that always are at the bottom.
That's true too.
Let's go to the gills.
All right.
So we're getting some close-up imagery to ID this shark.
Let's go ahead and pan down the body.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
One more time with lasers.
All right. Putting lasers on it now to get some perspective on the size. I would say it's probably a little bit over 30 centimeters.
What's
in
the
the
time
range
on
of
bottom?
30 to 35 centimeters
Okay.
by eye.
All right.
So this says we're about 20 meters, but if we turn to the west right now, we see a depression. So I think we're in a local high. So right there, the pilot is turning to the west, and you see that everything's sloping down. So maybe we're offset with the bathymetry that's shown right here on IPAC, but we're definitely in a local high at least. You see right there on screen, IPAC.
Okay, thanks.
So maybe you can just turn towards the south. That's where.
I can look to the north and see what that ridge looks like. It seems like a circular depression, and I'm kind of on the edge of it.
Yeah, because we were definitely coming from the back, right? Like.
Yeah. So the other way would be.
Yeah, it's pretty much going back.
The other ridge would be that way.
I mean, yeah,
which is
circle. So either, I would say probably like the other way. I don't know. Or do you see a little bit more of a slope going that way?
It's hard to say. Yeah, we either go northwest or northeast or southwest. I think are the two options here. Both are kind of a ridge.
So for everyone on shore side, we were just trying to figure out
okay, I guess let's go
where we are with respect to our final waypoint, and it appears that there's a waypoint.
Move the boat.
3 is on a different topographic high point than we are right now, which means that there's a slight depression between us and the next hill.
But this is pretty much where we're coming from. So
interesting scour. I wonder if that's associated with this little ledge here.
I think that's an ROV scour.
ROV scour.
Yeah.
Ours.
Wondering if it'll wrap around Fernando.
I mean, what are you seeing? I don't think today is rolling, or is it?
Like, ride this right here. Stay on this local high. Does that sound good, Fernando?
Yeah, or you can just turn around and try to go this way and see, because we haven't been there. Like, we probably looked at this
Okay.
already.
Okay. Yeah, we can go southwest if that'll cover new ground.
Yep.
Sounds good. Spin that way. Then we can get a move on. Thinking like southwest, Dan.
Okay.
That'll ride this ridge.
We've only got a few minutes left. Have you explored it at tether length in all directions?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
We can either jump down in, I guess, but I don't know if we have time.
I think we're going to be
time for that.
Doing our testing and then coming off bottom pretty soon. I mean, if you want to do a short move, like along the plateau, that's fine. I don't think we should start working our way down since we don't have much time.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe
in this direction.
My current heading kind of that way.
So
sure.
230. Okay.
Well, let's get Sirius lined up first.
Yeah.
And then why don't you kind of lateral over to port a bit. So you want 230?
Or maybe right there where Sirius is looking at right now. So
250?
Yeah, 250 I think would be
okay, we'll do 250.
Yeah.
And you could just do like, 20 meters to
20
start.
meters? Alright.
Does that sound good to you, Levi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bridge, does nav. Let's do range 20 meters, bearing 250 degrees, speed 0.2.
Pilot, this is watch lead. There's something
Good copy.
branching right in the middle, right to the left of the lasers.
Yeah.
Can you do a snap to them?
Yeah.
That one?
Video come in.
Looks like another black coral, branching black coral. You can see part of the skeleton.
Did you need a closer look? Watch lead, I can get closer if needed.
I think that's. Oh wait, no. Can we have a closer look?
Yeah.
Is that a star feeding on the right, the white thing?
Yeah, we'll grab that after the coral here. Come in.
This looks a little bit different than the antipathies we were looking at earlier, but yeah, it does look like a black coral. But yeah, I would say it definitely looks a little bit different.
I think it was our last few minutes on bottom.
Antipathies, because it seems like there
are
branchlets coming off of.
So I think he was going to come in at 20.
Part of the main stem.
That means 6 minutes left of science.
I agree with you, Steve.
Sound good?
They're called pinnules, the small side branches, and the polyps are arising from the pinnules, and that is not a characteristic of antipathies. It's definitely different from what we observed earlier.
You have more zoom
Go
in.
yeah. Nope, that's max.
Okay.
Let's go full screen. Video's clear.
Amazing.
All right, pilot's clear. Maybe go with that star.
Possible star, possible sponge, but looks like a star.
Is that a sea star?
Yeah, that's a sea star.
Come in.
The white, yeah.
I think it's maybe one of those slime stars.
Yeah, it looked a little swollen. I wasn't sure. Maybe it was feeding on something. Yeah, at first glance, I would agree with you.
It looks like it's sitting down with his arms on a countertop.
Okay,
there's another species of cup coral in the background too that looks a little bit different than what we've been seeing.
The dark substrate there could be old coral, could be metal. What do you guys think?
I think the substrate here is mostly pretty rocky. It might be,
Thank you.
you know, we probed the substrate, what looked like this, to grab that coil, and it seemed to be pretty well consolidated. So I don't think it's I don't think it's anything that was biogenic. There's also a lot of manganese crust. Doesn't seem like metal either. Otherwise, there would probably be some sort of rust mark.
What are all these small little white tubules hanging out from the...
I thought those were stylastrids, you know, very small
Come in video.
stylastrids.
These small white
Some
ones?
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty abundant.
You got the appearance of those carnivorous sponges. I see some spines.
Do they appear spiny? Can't quite
I
make
think
it
I
out.
heard Bridge called in saying the ship was stopped.
I think Megan McCullers and
Casey right on top of one.
suggested
Yeah,
they were
come out.
prize owned. And I seem to recall seeing these, maybe it was in the Gulf of Mexico expedition pretty commonly. I don't know that we ever
come
managed
back in.
to collect any. So I don't know that anyone can certainly, or definitively, I mean, say what they are. But they are fairly abundant.
So Scott, I was looking through my guide for black corals from the Anegada Passage, and
Current's blowing me a little bit.
Try the extra
the
lights.
coral we just saw,
I can see the spines.
and
but I
the
don't think
branching
you
pattern
guys
at
can.
least,
Dan, can you get
as
the
well
light?
as the
What do you need?
pinnules,
Lights.
High beams?
seems
Yeah.
to be reminiscent of chrysopathes. But
Yeah, that could be.
yeah, that's my best
We're
guess.
moving too far from here. When you pull out on the left, you're going to see something pretty transparent.
Yep. Okay.
Come out a little bit.
Or a soft coral.
Something transparent. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
12 o'clock.
I think.
Come
I
in.
don't think you guys are able to see it, but on those white nodules, I'm seeing spines.
Cup coral again, I guess.
Yeah, cup coral. Although the
So thanks, Roland. I was looking at that as well. There's certainly some structure on those little white finger-like projections.
You come out a little bit.
In some places they're mounding. I
figure out.
can't quite see the spines that you're referring to. So, yeah, this is a mystery to me. Hydrozoan, bryozoan, sponge, any of the above. Below.
So I could tentatively say cup coral here, but I can't see any skeleton on this one. The knobby structures at the end of the tentacles could indicate it's something else, though, an anemone or Corallimorpharian. It looks too small. Yeah. So it could be multiple things. Okay. Thanks, pilot.
Yeah. Thanks, video.
I know there are also a number of
Lights
small
clear.
cup corals that look like Javania around here, and I've seen some. We saw some between the coils, and I just saw a smaller one that was very, very small, maybe only a few centimeters, but definitely a cup coral.
Oh, here's something.
Yeah, can we zoom on that larger rock with the white on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
The white is on the left-hand side of the rock, not to your left.
Got it.
It's to your right.
closer for you, Roland.
It's weird jelly floating above you.
Let it go. Come in.
So this is this looks like a colonial scleractinian. One we definitely saw a little bit deeper, but this is a much smaller colony, really fragmented. Down below, this is what we were referring to as Solanus melia. Someone on the shore, maybe Cheryl, can chime in on the chat if you think this is correct. But it has this brambly structure to the colony, and we didn't see any really well-defined zigzags that might indicate it's madrepora, so we're going to say it's Solanus melia. This was, if it is Solanus melia, it was extensively collected in the Anegada Passage, at least 4 or 5 collections from that region.
All right, pilot's clear.
So pilot, why don't you check in with watch lead and tell him we're going to be doing some equipment testing, and that maybe we get 1 or 2 more zooms.
A lot of brittle stars in this area.
Yeah.
Watch lead, pilot.
Sorry, pilot. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, just gonna ask you if there's anything else you wanted to see in this frame.
Could we do a snap zoom on that long white
On the right?
thing right on the right?
Yeah, larger. And then this is pretty much concludes the dive. Maybe one more zoom after this.
Hey, this is Chris Ma.
And that'll be it.
Hello, Chris.
Come
Hey,
in.
just thought I would chime in with a quick ID on that brittle star, that one that was in the foreground. That is, according to Dr. Posson's chart, an Ophiocanthid known as Ophiocamax. The one he has is called Ophiocamax hystrix, but his, I think, the hystrix is, I think, the other one you guys saw earlier, but this looks very similar to it. And you've got a nice sideroid in the background there as well, which I don't recognize, unfortunately. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you the name.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll be the last thing. Come back in.
All right, so let's make this one quickly, and let's start getting
Because
ready.
we want to have the finest data available here. We're going to try and take one more look at this white coral for the shoreside folks.
That's Max.
So we can clarify a couple things.
So what do you rather then?
Looks like there's a squat lobster as well. 2 squat lobsters, one below the colony, one above.
All right.
Yeah.
Next watch lead. We're going to start coming up. So this concludes the science portion of the dive, watch leads.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
This concludes the dive.
Great.
Out of time.
Thank you. It's been a great dive so far. Thanks for letting us reach this far on the dive.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of a dramatic end. We had a bit more coral diversity and sponge diversity and fish diversity on the top of this mound, or this local high. There's another tinsel fish waving goodbye to us as we leave the seafloor. So we've had some great highlights today. We'll discuss things a little bit more in depth in the post-dive call. Shoreside scientist folks who are on the conference line or in the chat, we are going to begin the call within a couple minutes of leaving the seafloor, so just don't go too far, only because we are so shallow that we want to make sure that we give the
All right.
folks who are joining the call on the ship enough time to both participate in the call and prepare.
What's the plan?
So Jeff is going to test his
prepare for the
device.
recovery. So thanks everyone for joining in. We're leaving the seafloor today at 638 meters,
right?
which is a pretty good dive. We came up from about 850. We hope to have you joining us tomorrow, where we're going to be diving a little bit west of here.
Okay.
Off of,
to be decided.
I think, yeah, off of Guayanilla.
Yep.
In that area.
I was looking at the wrong
but
camera.
we hope that you can join us tomorrow for another day of exploration in the U.S. Caribbean.
Thank you all.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Okay.
Afternoon.
So
Buenas tardes.
So for the science call, folks, we'll begin pretty much right away, if everyone's okay with that.
Works for me.
All right, just so we, I know there was a lot of beeps and boops going on. Who's on the call? I heard Scott just a minute ago.
Maybe just me.
Okay, well, we'll start the call then. Any comments, summary comments about the dive for the record, or about running the dive?
I'll say that it was interesting and unusual. There are some observations that I had today that I haven't seen before. A couple that stick in my mind are the sipunculin worm, the peanut worm. So maybe 3 or 4 of those. Got a good image at one point. Those coiled tubes, would be really interested. I really hope we got something inside the tube, but if not, if somebody would recognize that was interesting. And it was nice to be able to collect some zoanthids and sponges, cup corals, things that we don't have a lot of collections of. So good to be able to use our time in that way. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought so as well. I didn't quite know what to expect here, but we got a good variety of substrate, and I think that contributed a little bit to some of the species we found. So I think there might be some support here for getting some more exploration time on these ridges, as well as on the walls. So I think everything was great. Got a box full of collections, and we'll be processing those through the afternoon today. If Derek's ready, we can move on to tomorrow.
Yep, ready to go.